This week's video is about a product that I've been using for the last 2 or 3 years called Magnesium Pronto. I love this product because it makes a very nice clean magnesium solution for dosing to your tank. And one of these jars can make roughly 5 gallons of liquid solution. It's only $20 and it's available on my website. The ingredients are anhydrous magnesium chloride and magnesium sulfate. So you have both types that you need combined already in advance. And all you have to do is mix this with RODI water. It can't be much simpler than that. All you need is a container, like this one that I found at Walmart, the product itself, a wooden spoon to stir it with, and some kind of a measuring device to measure your tablespoons. So this was the last jar I used to mix my magnesium in. I've been using it for quite some time, but it melted on the bottom. And that just is a reminder that this solution will get warm and can actually affect the container you're mixing in. So if you want to mix it in a bucket or if you want to mix it in a glass container, that would be more sturdy. That's fine. I actually don't know how it was melted. I told my friend, mix this up for me because I was really busy. And when they were done, my jar was ruined. So a new container is this one here. And like I said, I just wanted to find something inexpensive that would hold a gallon of solution. And that's what we're going to do right now. Something important I need to discuss is a teaspoon versus a tablespoon. If you're measuring in teaspoons, you're going to need a lot of these. If you're going to use tablespoons, it'd be a lot easier. Don't mix them up. And when you take the powder and you put it inside your device, which like in the case of this one, the tablespoon, you want it to be a level tablespoon, not a heaping tablespoon. You're going to take 120 ounces of water, which is going to fill this jug to that line right there. So we're not doing a full gallon. A full gallon is 128 ounces. We're using 120. It's very important. And then we're going to add 10 tablespoons. So 10 of these added to 120 ounces of water. So I quickly marked my new container and then I waited for it to fill up with RO water. You can use RODI. I use RO because it's convenient, and my TDS of my RO water is 2. So I'm not too worried about pollutants. Alrighty. I know I already said this once, so I'm going to say it one more time. And by the way, it does come in a smaller container if you need it, but I only carry the large size because that's the most economical choice. If you're going to use a tablespoon, you need 10 tablespoons. If you're going to use teaspoons, you need 30 teaspoons. It's one or the other, mixed with 120 ounces of water. So we're going to do 10 tablespoons. And what I've noticed is that when you're using this product, it's going to smell like gunpowder. I don't know why. And when you add it, it makes a little sound almost like an explosion. And you definitely start smelling the sulfur. 2. I like to put in 5 scoops and then stir. I'm not going to talk because I'm counting, and I hate to talk and count and make mistakes. So this would be 5. And we're going to stir this up, and then I'll add the other 5. And then finally, we're going to let it sit for a few minutes until it's clear again. All right, that's 10 tablespoons. That's all I needed. I'm done with it. I can put it away. Stirring with my left hand feels weird. What we've done here is we've made liquid magnesium that you can then dose to your tank in a couple of different ways. You can add it manually by trickling in some out of a small shot glass into your tank. You could use a syringe to squirt in a certain milliliter amount, or you can hook it up to a dosing pump and let it trickle in, which is exactly what I do with my tank. My tank uses roughly a gallon of magnesium a month for my 450 gallon system. I like to keep my magnesium level around 1300 ppm. That's it. That's all I had to do. So we'll let that sit and we'll wait for it to dissolve. as I was saying, my tank is usually around 1300 ppm. And if it gets lower, which it does invariably because the Montipora species loves magnesium, Coraline also likes magnesium. As these things consume it, it has to be replenished, which is why we dose more. And with my system, I don't actually use a certain type of math because I've been in this hobby a really long time. And I basically need to use a gallon of this to get my magnesium back up to 1300 and keep it there for a few weeks. And so what I've chosen to do is I take a dosing pump and I hook it up to this container. I have a lid with a hole in the center and I run the tube right in, draws into a dosing pump, and it trickles in 90 milliliters a day until the jug is empty. And then the jug is empty for about 3 weeks or 3.5 weeks. You know, it takes about 4 or 5 days to use this up in my tank, maybe longer. I never timed it. I just know this is how much I need. And then I won't use magnesium again until I see a measurement that's lower when I do an ELOS magnesium test kit. So that is as hard as this is. You stir it up, you let it sit until it's clear, and then it's ready to hook up. One more thing I definitely wanted to mention before we wrap this up. When you're mixing this up, use a plastic spoon or a wooden spoon. Don't use metal because metal reacts with magnesium and you might end up creating a toxicity issue with your tank by polluting the very product you're mixing up. So wooden spoon is my preference. I actually have this wooden spoon only for my aquarium. When I'm done, I rinse it off and I store it. It doesn't go in the kitchen with the kitchen supplies. And it is what I use to mix things up without any concerns whatsoever. It's been about 5 minutes and the solution is almost completely clear. I would say in another 3 to 4 minutes it'll be 100% clear. If for some reason you don't need to make a gallon at a time because you have a smaller system, you can get the smaller container from a website online and you can use 1 tablespoon with 12 ounces of water and make a small amount. So there you have it. It's economical, it's easy to make at home, and it will take care of your tank for a good long time. And, you know, I mean, what else can I say? Use it. My reef loves it. I think yours will too.